Welcome, everybody. I am finally here. Had some things to take care of, but better late than never. Ashley Hyatt, if you cannot make the stream, I know you're over in Japan. I completely understand. Hopefully, you get the recording of this. This is more of a setup phase, anyways, as we are starting a brand new campaign for the Confederate states, and there'll probably be a lot. This probably actually be relatively straightforward and boring, as I don't see a lot of action happening in this one. But we want to get the ground rules set up. We want to get the policies in place. We want to get the initial recruitment going. So that will be our goals here. We are calling this campaign the War of Northern Aggression, because the Confederates are going to play the defensive. They did no wrong. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't fire on Fort Sumter. Who is to say and judge? But this is a war of northern aggression, not southern aggression. They are fighting for states' rights, because we all know. Well, why don't we just move forward with the campaign? So let's start off the campaign with spring of 1861, and some of the other ground rules. So not only are the Confederates, are we going to play as the Confederates and play defensively, we cannot invade the North. So no Gettysburg campaign. I was thinking about bending that rule for if this game goes on to 60, maybe after the summer of 63 and the war is still in the balance. My prediction is that without invading the North, it will be very hard for the Confederates to actually strike a victory and get Union morale low enough to win the campaign. But we're going to see what we can do, and maybe if it's in 1864 and the campaign's still going and we haven't won the war, but we are defending the territory well, we might strike that rule down and be able to go on the offensive. We can only retake conquered territory. So we will, Union conquered territory can be retaken, of course. That seems obvious. We can invade neutral states. So the states of Missouri, Kentucky, if West Virginia is taken, and Maryland and Delaware included as neutral states, we can invade those states. Only if those states are invaded by the North first. So basically, that would affect Kentucky. So if Kentucky is ours and invaded by the North, we can invade into Kentucky. Or if the Kentucky goes to the Union, we can invade Kentucky that way. So those are some of the ground rules. Also, we will watch. I think we're going to try to play with manpower. We can only match the Union manpower. I don't know if anyone maybe has a suggestion on the manpower rule, and see how they feel about that, because I feel there's a very easy way for the Confederates to get a huge jump in manpower early in the war, before the conscription policies are able to be researched. Usually if the Union takes conscription, they can pull ahead, even if the Confederates have a large numerical advantage. So let me know your guys' thoughts about a manpower rule. For now, we'll play it as, we'll keep it around even. We can pull ahead slightly in manpower advantage, but if we pull ahead of the Union in manpower, then we must select a different policy for, instead of one of the military policies. So no militia policy unless the Union, so no militia or military policies unless the Union pulls ahead of us in manpower. How about that? So must must be able to enact, or can only enact militia policies unless the Union actually is ahead in manpower. So again, if you are just joining the stream now, this is a new live stream campaign, War of Northern Aggression, CSA defensive campaign only, cannot invade the North. We can invade neutral territory, so Missouri, Kentucky, Maryland, and Delaware. We are going to try to limit ourselves to only matching manpower of the Union side. Why don't we get things started, though? And we need to pick our 3 main policies. We're going to do industrialization. You want to do You want to do arms agents? Yeah, I was thinking arms agents was something. We're going to go with more of a quality than the quantity. Now, here's the question: do we want Old Dominion? Probably not. That way, that will put our capital in the deep south. And welcome, Randall. How are you doing? Sorry for the late start. So that leaves, I'm thinking slavery to the west, or maybe Southern Pacific as the, so no Old Dominion, but maybe slavery to the west or Southern Pacific. Support construction of Southern Pacific Railroad connecting Atlantic and Pacific coasts and increasing trade with Western states. The game, well, that will be, that'll force us to really protect the Mississippi Valley, because we don't want to be cut off from that lifeline if our trade is increased with the Western states. Credit rating +2 as well. Railroad transport capacity and construction speed. So we could, with this policy enacted, we could actually highly consider building railroads as the Confederates. King Cotton might not be a bad idea too, to feed Europe or make sure trade with Europe is strong. If we don't take apostles of disunion, then Kentucky will probably go Union. I'm leaning towards Southern Pacific. Foreign intervention, would that probably be King Cotton then? All plantations will start campaign with higher upgrade level, support in all slave states +5. European intervention +, so you want to try to go for a foreign intervention type of game? All right, let's do King Cotton. Industrialization, arms agents, and King Cotton as our 3 main policies. Slavery to the West is, I feel slavery to the West is a strong policy, but if we want to see if we can't get foreign intervention, then this will be the way to go. I'm going to click feuds off because I think that hurts the AI more than anything. It's kind of a fun mechanic, but I think it hurts the AI more than it hurts the human player. Difficulty. We are going to set Union at very hard. This should make them more aggressive. We want the Union to be aggressive and try to invade the South. Sometimes they get overly aggressive and do stupid things, but I think for this game we want it set at very hard. And we're going to give them the bonus of +50. I think we're set. If we have anyone out there that is not happy with these settings, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Going once, going twice. All right. Let's get this going. War of Northern Aggression. I am 99.9% sure that we are going to do this again tomorrow. I know I've been a little flaky on the stream schedules, but I do apologize for that. I'll get it to a point where it's more consistent with my fingers crossed. That's good to hear. You're good, Randall. Very good. Randall, you still want a big muddy division? All right, so let's go to policies. Actually, let's go to finances. We are going to set everything on high. So all subsidies set to high, even though we're not paying in any subsidy except for politics. So for now, we'll keep 0 additional policies until we need. We'll up the politics one until we need that extra policy. And then now I will say we should probably take Militia Act 1 first. Now, my choice if I play that Union game. Now here's the question. Is Militia Act 1, I forget the script on Militia Act 1. If we select Militia Act 1, or is that the Union if they select Militia Act 1, is that a sign of aggression? Or should we wait till war starts? Maybe we'll go industrial first. There's a rule if you select Militia Act 1 before Fort Sumter, but I think that's as the Union. I forget the rules on that one. Maybe let's do Diplomacy 1 with diplomatic focus on policy making. European superpowers can be boosted with diplomacy subsidies up to 250,000. So we can get our weapons in here first. Let's do Diplomacy 1. We'll have to keep an eye on manpower, but let's fast forward the start of the slow start of the campaign. Texas votes 3-1 to secede. Anyone new to the stream? Just to rehash this, I'll probably rehash it several times throughout. Loyalties in Missouri torn, secessionist Minutemen mustered. Equal the Union manpower. So we'll keep that ground rule. But this campaign, we're calling it the War of Northern Aggression, the Second War of Independence. The Confederates must fight defensively. They cannot invade the North. We can invade. Texas joins. We can invade the neutral states. So if Kentucky stays Union, we can invade Kentucky. We can invade Maryland. So that puts Washington, D.C. as something that we can capture. We can even invade Delaware, as they are technically a neutral state. And Missouri. Confederate States Army established. Was Kansas ever considered a neutral state? Well, Canada is technically neutral, right? Right. We can do that in when Vicky 3 comes out. We'll invade Canada as the Confederate States. We'll probably do a Confederate State Vicky 3 run down the road when that game's released. Diplomacy 1 policy is selected. The policies we have taken King Cotton, because we are gonna see if we can't get foreign intervention, Southern industrialization, and arms agent. Now, we could have went. It was on the fence. It was either going to be King Cotton, or slavery to the west, or what's the other one that I like? Oh, Southern Pacific Railroad. But we went with King Cotton because we think that's our best option towards European intervention. Hey, Rosanna Dana, do you know the rules around Militia Act 1 if chosen before Fort Sumter? Does that affect the Union only? If they select it before Fort Sumter, becomes an act of war. I forget the rules around that. Yeah, Slaves to the West is a very good policy. We probably took the King Cotton one as more of a role-playing thing. And arms agent is pretty good. No act of war, so let's do Militia Act 1. I haven't noticed skirmishers. I have trouble with scouts from cavalry units. The scouts from cavalry units frustrate me sometimes. But I think that has something to do with the evade order. And welcome to the stream, Marine Willis. We'll do Militia Act 1 and then the government funding. Speech delivered in Savannah. Yeah, well, if chat didn't yell at me to do the evade order, I probably wouldn't do it as much. Just kidding, chat. Just kidding. Almost have to order them 10 times to drop it, and usually screws up when you... Yeah. I notice when I put the evade order on, sometimes they don't evade. But detaching, you got to detach the cavalry. That's just my opinion, too, or my experience with scouts and evade orders. I see it work sometimes, too, but... I mean, that's part of the game, and I know, but it seems to frustrate a lot of people, too. Davis calls for militia. then KC followed by Indy 1 and 2. Then you have a good set piece of policies. All right, so we're government funding 1, and then we'll do industry 1. We got Diplo down. We got Militia Act 1. We'll do government funding, Indy 1, and then Militia Act. Again, we're going to try to handicap ourselves a little bit with manpower. So we'll get to a point once the war starts that we can only match, not exceed the Union manpower. So here are if we've missed it earlier, the ground rules for the campaign. War of Northern Aggression. CSA defensive campaign cannot invade the North, can only retake conquered territory. Can invade neutral states only if those states are invaded by the North first. So basically, that rule's in place for Kentucky. If Kentucky stays blue, but is entered by the Union forces, which I would imagine them defending it, we can retake Kentucky. Manpower policies must enact. We can enact militia policies or military policies that affect manpower only if we are behind in manpower. You want to go government funding 1, military 1. What's KC? King Cotton. King Cotton and Indy 1 and 2. Okay, gotcha. We'll try to follow that path. All right, April 3rd, 1861, moving right along. Supply situation at Fort Sumter is critical. This is very rare for me to see the Treasury actually profitable. Beauregard issues his ultimatum, but we did not fire first. This is a war of northern aggression. They shouldn't have been in Sumter anyways. Yes, why don't we pause this and start taking a look at our Navy. Oh, you know what? If this is a long drawn out war, probably should have done this a little bit sooner. Let's take a look. What railroads? Let's see, I wish I would have. We don't want to do that. Nope. Nope. Texas Southern, maybe? Oh, we can't build that. There's no real good railroads we can build anyways. What if I want to build a railroad? Estimated impact of construction, 265 days. Arkansas, Little Rock, 322 days. Tax revenue plus, yeah, 225,000. That doesn't seem very like very good tax revenue. But that's an increase of, well, current IIP tax revenue is 23,000, so that's a 200,000 increase in tax revenues. Here, let me just build this one. We're building it. We're building one. It'll be done. It'll be done before the end of the year. In less than a year, it'll be done. And then, so we want some fleet management. All right, where's our ports? There's the Vicksburg port. Gotcha. So we have a Mississippi squadron. Let's do this General Clinch. Gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see what we got right now. Let's take a look at the commanders too. Franklin Buchanan, he should be a good one. Cunning, though. Doesn't cunning affect intelligence? Why don't we break down the New Orleans squadron? Actually, we'll keep the Jackson with the New Orleans squadron, and then maybe a couple schooners. And then we'll create one more scouting fleet. They're only at 50%. We'll do the Calhoun in that unit. Why do the schooners need to be in one fleet? I'm just curious. Gotcha. Well, I'll throw all these in the North Carolina squadron, and we'll send them to Savannah. Or all right, we'll take the North Carolina squadron to Savannah. Oh, we can't move them yet. All right, let's take a look at our initial armies here. Oh, there's already a siege in Missouri. You're going to see Ramstein in New Jersey. Du Hast. All right, let's see. What's the situation in Missouri? We outnumber them. 6 guns. They have 16 guns. Du Hast. Du Hast mich. All right, I think I want to retreat. Actually, they're about to win anyways, so I was about to retreat Price. Disaster at Franklin. Morale is broken. Well, he's going to retreat anyways. To Lebanon. Let's move McCulloch forward. You mean the one from like in the 90s? Ramstein is crazy. Oh, 2019. Or maybe it was the early 2000s. Yeah, their stage show, they're nuts. They're nuts. They're crazy Germans. Yeah, their stage show is bonkers. All right, what do we want to do here? McCulloch. We want to recruit some men under McCulloch. What do we have going on? As far we have 52,000 volunteers at the moment. All right, why don't we start forming up some divisions? Let's do a small cavalry division here. All right, we got Pillow, which we'll keep. Albert Sidney Johnson, we're not going to leave you as a division commander there. Could do Gabriel Rains maybe as a division commander out west. If you don't recruit to making new units, your existing armies will become fuller. I could just do that. But as long as you have manpower in reserve, they're still going to recruit to become fuller. So that would be true at any regardless. So I'm not going to recruit all 49,000. I'm going to leave a reserve so that they will fill out the ranks. But you did remind me of combining the brigades. Who do we want out east as the main general? Do we want to assign Lee? Do we want Beauregard? So we'll do Lee. We'll do Lee with the, and we'll name them the Army of Northern Virginia. And we will promote Lee. And he has that engineering trait, so which will be good because we're going to try to fortify along the rivers in Virginia. Like David R. Jones and Ewell. Actually, we may make Ewell a division commander. We'll do the Theophilus Holmes. I sometimes can say that name right. Well, let's give Ewell the division. Johnston we'll give Johnston an army in Tennessee probably. We have some political generals. Oh, it must be a South Carolina unit. All right, we'll do Bonham. We'll get it right off. We'll get it done right off the bat here. Actually, let's do this. Oh, Ashley, that's my fault. Sorry, I'm late. Although you might have been able to get some sleep. So, Rosanna Dana, what color do you want your division? We're gonna get your division going. I'm glad you made it to the stream, Ashley. I do apologize for starting late. Red shirt, black pants. And then, well, no black. We can keep the green right on top of the green. Or the dark blue. Ah, there. What? Never mind. Found him. Red shirt, black pants. We'll do that spiffy looking uniform there. So this is going to be 3 Georgia brigades of artillery. Will be our artillery reserve, the Sloopy division. Do you have an artillery general preference? What about Cooper? You want Rosanna Dana batteries? I can change it. We can do Lawton. We could do Cooper. Yeah, Cooper's got some good stats for artillery. For an artilleryman, he'll head the division. We might need some lower ranking or some fine young artillery officers, though. Let's do Captain John McGowan. Probably don't want Huger. Although Huger's got... Oh, wait, that's Lee. I was going to say. I thought that was Huger's stats. You want an engineer? Yeah, Captain William Whiting, Martin Smith. Let's do Martin Smith. Or you want an infantry brigade? Very British looking uniform there. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's do Robert Beckham. You get the 24-pound howitzer and the 12-pounder. Or do you want the Parrott rifle? We get the 10-pound Parrott. All right. All right, one more unit for the Sloopy, or we're calling it the Rosanna Dana or division. Actually, when we do the ultimate, we'll do Ultima Ratio division out west, and when we get access to some better guns, we will form up that division. All right, we'll keep it the Sloopy division. So that's Georgia's fight song too, because that's the Ohio State song. Hang on, Sloopy. I never knew that about Georgia. Let's see what we have. We still have 41,000 manpower. All right, Bonham, division commander. Lee as the corps commander will be the army commander once we get that researched. Bald knobbers dressed sloppily with smoothbores. That's okay. Well, they'll be our budget saving division. We'll keep Glad in there. All right, so that gives them about 12,000 men. Let's attach a cavalry division. You know what? I don't think Thomas Renier is here, but we're going to name this the Styrian Panthers. Out effing standing. One more championship and they can catch Florida. All right, we got Wade Hampton. We can do Richard Anderson. He's got the cavalry trait. We will put Anderson as the cavalry commander. Oops. Oh, we got the 12-pound there. So 12, 24, and the Parrott rifle. What's up, Josh Coffee? Ooh, I like that. Southern sharpshooter. We can do like a small division of like 2 brigades all in green. No, we don't want A.S. Johnston as a brigade commander. All right, Evans. Evans. Let's try to speed this up a little bit, though. Preston's battalion. That's fine. Nope, Donaldson, you're gone. Let's find another cavalry commander. Van Dorn. Let's save Van Dorn. We'll go Charles Field. All right, so that brings Lee. On paper, his force is about 17,000. And they are forming up. Joe Johnston in the valley. We're going to keep Joe Johnston in the valley. We will make Jackson a division commander under him, though. Nope. No Daniel Ruggles. Will Cox will get a brigade. We'll make Jackson the division commander. What state is Hampton from? South Carolina. South Carolina never has issue with support, so. But Wade Hampton's got good stats. He will be the other division commander in the Army of the Shenandoah. Did I forget to do something? I did. All right. So Styrian Panthers. You guys might have to remind me of the other names that have been thrown out. We are doing a sharpshooter regiment. I guess we can do that in the valley here. So it's just going to be two. It's going to be two brigades. And then it's going to be, they'll have some horse artillery with them. Oh, I forgot. I can't auto do that. Yeah, actually, the forts, well, we got to wait until they get readiness. So we got to wait on the readiness before we can build forts. Although I think Porterfield can build a fort. We'll definitely want to fortify. I want to hold Harper's Ferry. So we'll fortify that entrance into the valley. So we'll create. So maybe if we want to use Hampton's division as an engineer, or we can create a new engineer unit to build forts along the. Is that the Rapidan? Along the Rapidan and other Virginia rivers. Guess we can get some Kentucky men. All right, they're going to be the sharpshooters, right? We got all green. So just 2 brigades. Ooh, I like Texas sharpshooters. What's better, the Mississippi rifle has 500 yards, but Lorenz rifle has the better firing rate. Gotcha. All right, we'll give him the Mississippi rifle. All right, so this division, let's find a competent division commander for this. What were we going to name? I forget the name of this sharpshooter division. We'll name them sharpshooters for now. Let me know in the chat or comments what the sharpshooters need to be named. Not sharpshooters. Sharps shooters. Let's find a good officer for this division. We can do Albert Blanchard. No, he's not. His stats aren't very good. Patrick Claiborne. But he's just a volunteer. He doesn't have any other stats. What about John Jones? Probably want someone more famous. Breckenridge. You know, Claiborne might be good for this because he's a volunteer. Bad connection on your end. All right, we're going to do Claiborne. Is he even available for us right now? Let's see if he's I don't see weight. Can't seem to find him unless I'm using the search box wrong. Can you not search just by the last name only? Or he's already in he's already assigned somewhere. They won't let me assign him. Maybe I can't assign him out east. Seeing a garrison. All right, we'll assign him somewhere else. All right. All right, Bushrod Johnson will get a brigade. Bragg will replace Bragg. John Jones. That's fine. All right. Those sharpshooters are established. We found him. We found him, but I can't assign him to that position right now. Ready for duty. They'll get a horse artillery battery with the sharpshooters. No, you haven't really missed much. We're just still setting up units. John Peelham. Kind of want to reserve Peelham for the ultimate ratio division. He's got good. He's got some pretty good stats there. The war is over. You missed it. We started a new campaign too. All right, we're actually going to transfer Magruder to Lee, and then we'll form up a new. Actually, Magruder will stay in Richmond, but we're going to transfer the units under Magruder to Lee. Or do we want to actually assign them to the Shenandoah? Actually, we'll give Jackson Hill Harry Turtle. Is that Harry Turtledove policy? So someone should make a mod, Guns of the South. Good old Guns of the South mod. Probably need it. We probably want an engineer here, don't we? Yeah. What was the name of the other division with just the smooth bores? Bald Beaver Brigade? No, it was but that's going to be a good one. Good name. Bald Knobbers, that's it. Gotta write this stuff down in my old age. All right, let's move out west. We got Zollicoffer. Just trying to do some recruiting. Let's see, we have 16,000 left in the volunteer pool, so we might have to hold up and let them fill up the ranks. But actually, we'll keep 12,000 men under Zollicoffer. We still gotta, still early, so we gotta wait for more volunteers to show up. Betty White Division. Samuel French. Actually, this will be our Ultima Ratio Division. Artillery. Let's see. I guess Huger will get the assignment for those two. Let's see what guns we have. We'll upgrade these as we get them. We'll upgrade the Ultima Ratio into better guns. We'll probably recruit another battery too. But for now, this will be enough to start. Van Dorn. Get some cavalry officers here. George Stewart. See any young, good John Bowen. Probably could use an artillery officer there instead of the cavalry officer, to be honest. Artillery. Betty White. The Fort Betty White. Alright, so that brings Zollicoffer to 10,000 men. Actually, we're going to replace Smith with an engineer brigade. There we go. Well, not a lot of readiness in these units right now, so we'll just watch price retreat. Wait until our units accumulate readiness. We'll probably send our fleets to... They're disabled. Those fleets aren't even ready. Well, we can start scouting ahead, though. So, being a defensive campaign, so the name of the game of this campaign is CSA is going to only defend. We can't invade the North. Now, we can invade in neutral territory, so Maryland, Kentucky, Missouri, we can make invasions in there. Right now, this is the War of Northern Aggression, so we actually got to watch and see what the North does and and we'll base our strategy off of that. But we'll probably try to fortify in Virginia, although our capital should be Montgomery. It is. So that might affect the strategy a little bit differently. And yes, offense is the best defense. Part of the one other thing I didn't mention, raiding into the North is allowable. So part of the strategy might be deep raids. We'll see how well that exploits the Union economy, if that can actually hurt the Union economy. I don't know exactly why that is. Like, stand weight is not available out east. I wonder if I can assign him to a Western army. I wonder if that has something to do with it. It could be also the size of the unit. For the raiding, yes. All cavalry. No, he's still not available. It usually tells you where he's assigned to, but Stan Waite is not available as a commander yet. Maybe we need to just... Maybe it's more... It's a certain time to unlock. Or a certain support. What's Indian? We didn't go with the Indian Territory policy. What is support in the... See, Indian Territory is 60% support. I wonder if that makes a difference. We'll say if maybe our overall strategy will be to try to keep the Union from invading Virginia and try to invade Kentucky and Missouri to flip them over. Alright, so Union already up to 23,000 in fielded manpower. Price is headed back to Lebanon, Missouri. Funding one policy is selected. What did we say? Indy 1. Union selects military 1. Well, it looks like they're moving south. So Joe Johnston will shield the Department of Pennsylvania. I don't know if they're going to move towards Harper's Ferry. We're moving our scouting fleets north. What I might just do is transfer Price straight to McCulloch and then invade and then try to push on Springfield. We'll probably... I'd like to build a fort around Carrollton to kind of secure that far west part of Arkansas, and then we can move out and try to secure Springfield and southwest Missouri. Oh yeah, the markets are getting crushed. Overnight markets were down almost 2%. There was a bounce. And they've taken out major support, so it's looking like a major correction right now. Although it's way overdue. The market's in a big bubble, so it needs to happen. That's what people need to understand. Like you can't just when you pump all the money into the system, it can't just. There needs to be some pressure released. Yeah, we'll probably out west. We'll probably fortify around Carrollton. I would like to secure the Springfield part of Missouri and make that our base of operations. We'll probably need like an auxiliary force to guard the Mississippi, though. So that'll be the key. We'll see what the Union does if they push towards southwest Missouri or they go down the Mississippi around Cairo. Should transfer Beauregard. Our boy George James. We'll send him to Magruder for now. We'll find an assignment for Beauregard. Lee's not locked. I don't know if there is a positive. I don't know why he might get locked. You take care, Ashley. I know it's got to be really early for you in Japan. Can we take these guys out? Or just leave them? What do you like to do with the James River Squadron? Do you keep them in the James River, Rosanna Dana? Or can we put them in harbor and then try to get them out of there? Can you exploit that? Put them in harbor and then we could assign them to another... I know that opens up the James River, but I don't think our 2 ships in the James is going to stop them. Yep, they are moved. They are moved. We'll move Porterfield to... What is this town? To Beverly. And we'll build a fort there. You might be right, Marine Willis, about the... I wonder if there's certain policies selected at the beginning of the game that affect Lee's access. You would think by not taking Old Dominion that maybe he's more accessible later, but that didn't seem to affect this game. All right, so it doesn't look like they're crossing the Potomac above Alexandria, so maybe we need to bring Joe Johnston back to the valley. I don't want to get caught off guard in the valley. Jean-Jacques Alexander Alfred Mouton. Well, I can't build any forts or depots until the readiness is in the orange. And it looked like they were about to cross the Potomac above Alexandria, so I wanted to make sure Joe Johnston was there to support Lee if needed. Yeah. So again, you can move in your friendly territory. You can't build a depot or fort yet until you hit the orange. Do not have that on. Do not have supply lines on yet. Yeah, we need to just transfer. We're going to transfer Price's entire corps to McCulloch. We'll spread the brigades out. We'll have a different... Well, you know what? Bragg will get a division command. Actually, I want to hold on to Bragg. Bragg is perfect for that... that training unit, that training army. So we'll actually leave him off the division command. Maybe Longstreet out west. Jubal Early, Kirby Smith. We'll give Breckinridge the division here. He is locked in the 61, late 61 scenario, and I can't remember for 62. Well, maybe that's just because of the late 62. Maybe the early 61 campaign is just designed to be much more sandboxish, if that's even a word. All right, let's see. Porterfield. Now he can build. So if we want to fortify the Appalachian mountain passes, we can do that here with Porterfield. So it looks like there's Army of Ohio, some in southwest Pennsylvania, around Washington, D.C. Right. McCulloch, though, lack of supplies, but their condition is still good. So maybe he has to go back towards that depot. We'll keep an eye on his condition, though. As long as they're still good, and we can get a depot built soon. Her telegraph and depot. It looks like they should be connected here, because Porterfield's connected. Oh, Joe Johnston is ready. Ready enough to actually do something. All right, intervention, British intervention at 31%. King Cotton gives a bonus of 20%, and Confederate subsidies at 1.7. Yeah, Missouri's a tough nut sometimes to crack. Union's got 51,000 in the field. We should probably see, or up to 20,000 in volunteers. You're relatively a nut. Let's see, are these guys at full strength? We're about to recruit a bunch of brigades, so our manpower, our field and manpower will go up. All right, so Joe Johnson will march to Harper's Ferry and start fortifying there. All right, Lee is almost ready. Now, do we want to fortify the line along the Potomac? I mean, I guess we could build a chain of forts along each river in Virginia. Goober's Brigade. We'll go back to naming. When we recruit some more, we'll go back to naming some more units. Fortress Potomac, yeah. Since they didn't, the Union a lot of times will strike south right away, but they have not done that. Now, what we need to be careful of is they might strike at Lee. So why don't we actually take a defensive stance, because they might push forward across the river if they see Lee go to Alexandria, and they might just try to push him off. If we're defensive, we'll retreat back. So no movement by the Union across the Potomac, so that allows us to build a fort. Ah, there we go. Nice location there. All right, units are all untrained. Magruder. We'll build a depot at Richmond. We'll build that fort when that depot's ready. Porterfield suffering some supply troubles, but 12 days and that depot will be ready. That should solve. It's only 700 men. Yeah, we could. That'd be nice if the Union tries to invade through West Virginia and gets caught up at that fort. I'm sure they'll suffer some supply problems. British declare neutrality. Walk away. Walk away. It still hasn't bottomed. I looked at it before I started the stream. It looked like it was I marked where I thought it might bottom, but all right, so it looks like the Union is going to take a passive stance right now, as we've upped our fielded manpower to 46,000. Looks like you got 2 armies in Missouri, though. So the Union make an aggressive push in Missouri. So why don't we make an aggressive push in Kentucky? Heard Lewisburg. right, Zollicoffer with 10,000. I want to recruit more to Zollicoffer. That's fine. Price will take a division command there. Or do we want Beauregard? He's got that engineer trait. It'll come in handy. Depot Chattanooga. Don't sweat the 401k, because if you're still paying into it, they'll be buying the dips. I know that's easier said than done, but let's find an artillery guy for the divisional artillery. There we go. There's Pemberton, so that becomes the Pemberton Nut Butters. Let's find an infantry guy. We got Colonel Pierce. George T. Anderson. Canned goods and shotguns. Well, yep, those are defensive stocks, I imagine. I was going to strike into Kentucky. We can build an engineer force to fortify Nashville, maybe. How about that? So why don't we... Actually, do I have any manpower to recruit? Well, we can just do like one brigade with an engineer. Although I don't think he can invade. Can he invade with orange? No, not yet. So not until the yellow. Then Zollicoffer can invade Kentucky. But why don't we... Let's create a new army in Tennessee. Oh, 606. Maybe Mississippi. What about Bragg? Maybe this is where Bragg will get the assignment. And then we'll assign one engineer unit for now. And they'll build the fort. They'll build the fort at Nashville. We'll use Ledbetter because he's got one more star in administration. So if we use this force to help train units at Nashville. Oh, good. They're up near Corinth. Maybe let's upgrade the Nashville depot. So when are they hit yellow readiness? 20 days. So it takes 50 days to build the fort. They'll be ready before we can finish the fort. Although, you know what? They can start building the fort. All right, they'll start building the fort, and then we can... And then once Bragg is ready, he can move to Nashville. All right, May 15th, 1861. Not a lot of movement by the Union forces in Maryland. We got 2 armies in Missouri forming up. There was something in Ohio. There it is. Department of Ohio, Department of Pennsylvania. U.S. Navy arming civilian ships. I wonder how the civilians in Washington, D.C. feels about a fort right across the Potomac. How's their supply situation? 84%. So even though we're not drawing supplies from a depot, Lee looks okay supply-wise. So industry 1 selected. Why don't we do military 1? I apologize. I do forget the exact order we said we would research the policies. But I think we're pretty close to what we wanted. And then I think King Cotton next after military 1. Yeah, River Scouts are moving. All right, McCulloch can build a desperately needed depot. And we are gonna build. Actually, we might build a fort right at the headwaters of. What river is that? Is that the Red River or is this the Red River? Man, I gotta double check my river knowledge. But at the headwaters right here, we'll build a fort right at this crossroads above Carleton. When that fort is done by DC, isn't it going to just start an immediate siege battle with any enemy units nearby? You know, that's a good question. We're going to find out. 15,000. There's about 30,000 men. Facing across Lee's 15,000. Yeah, we're doing all right. Doing all right. And that's without some normal faces, I think. I know we started late, so Ashley's way far away in the middle of the night. Thomas Rainier usually is here. I have not seen him, which is fine. No worries. But welcome to anyone new to the stream. This is a new campaign. We're calling it War of Northern Aggression. This is a defensive Confederate campaign. We cannot invade the North. We can invade neutral territory. Oh, Polygon, that's right. Haven't seen Polygon. Thanks, Randall. Yeah, $3.99. Thanks, everyone, for your support. God, I would never even thought I'd get $3.99. But again, I appreciate everyone's involvement, viewership. Definitely make the streams much better. Although the Union very, very passive. We set them on very aggressive. But one thing that happens when you do invade the North, it really irritates the North. They get really mad, and then they start attacking. So maybe we need to punch them in the face. We're going to punch them in the face in Kentucky is what we're going to do. We'll see if they flinch. So waiting for Zollicoffer to get his readiness up. He's well supplied, so he's ready to invade. Yeah, they're at 64,000 right now. Gotta like the weapons industry at 5. Speaking of weapons industry, I don't think we have not divvied up our weapons up, have we? I'm gonna upgrade Yule's division. Let's see what they get. Yeah, Hall rifle, Jones. Let's see what we have available. We have a lot of decent weapons. We need to dish out. Jackson's division will get first dibs. Yeah, just out of nowhere. But in that last live stream, the Union was not recruiting at all. In the 1.03 and 104 patch reviews. And then Claiborne. This is the sharpshooter. They got the Mississippi rifles. Oh, I got 2 here. Let's just do this. I don't need 2 cavalry divisions. But even early on, I thought that it didn't seem like the Union, they weren't selecting any military policies. So, what did they just think? Oh, screw it. We're not going to recruit. We lost Ohio. We lost Cincinnati. We can't recruit. Game over. You win. Got firepower of 24 at the North Carolina squadron. Chamberlain must have been elected. Peace in our time. Backdoor Minnesota. That's the backdoor Minnesota. That's a new one. Ooh. Federal advantage right off the bat, though. Huh. Is that just because they got Kentucky and Missouri? That makes things even more interesting. They have 7 blockades right now. All right, so we're heading into the summer of 61. So forts being built. All right, Zollicoffer might be ready to invade. How's Bragg's contingent? He can move to Nashville. All right, we're going to order Zollicoffer to Bowling Green or how do we want to play this? Push to Louisville and Lexington and try to fortify that line. I always feel like you do have to take Evansville, though, to get... So that's a tricky part about Kentucky. Evansville controls Hartford in Kentucky across the river. All right, good point about fun. I always, for some reason, I ignore Fort Monroe, but we'll take her. I think we build a fort along the... Is that the Cumberland? We'll do our own Henry and Donaldson thing. Oh, you want forts in each city? What about along the river? He's got 6,000, but we could maybe... All right, they got that depot being... We might be able to recruit another division under Magruder to take Fort Monroe. Or just maybe one more brigade. We got Hill. We need to assign those generals to better commands. All right. Still, fort's about half completed along the Potomac. We'll build that depot there too. So we can invade Maryland if we want. Well, the Union AI has to show me that they're serious about amphibious invasions. They have not done that so far. But it might, if they do, it'll make for an interesting campaign. We'll scramble and fix it. Actually, we'll take Biloxi Bay Squadron to Cedar Key. Just we do want to reconnoiter. So not a lot of movement along the Ohio River by the Union. Oh, but there's a invasion down the Mississippi. All right, 18,000 men. All right, so Zollicoffer's probably going to... We're actually going to move him to Jackson. We might... we'll start recruiting under Bragg, and then once those units are recruited, we will reinforce Zollicoffer. Enlarge the Savannah fleet. Yes. Not in Mississippi. All right, we'll recruit a couple more units in under Bragg. If you don't start moving, Zollicoffer Johnston's going to replace you. All right, June 12th. McCulloch. He already built that depot, so at least he's getting supplied. But now we have to. Now I feel like we have to abandon and try to get to Little Rock. We got Zollicoffer going to Jackson, Tennessee. He's still waiting on 6,000 reinforcements though. Military 1 policy is selected. Ah, there's an army in Evansville forming up. All right, so we got another policy to select. All right, we're pretty even manpower, though, so we'll do the King Cotton policy. I thought for a second there the Union was really pulling away. Once Magruder gets to 8,000, we will try to assault Fort Monroe. All right, they're still fortifying along the Potomac. So Bragg, if he gets in range of that fort, he should start building it up again. Yeah. Yep. They're starting to build that fort. Zollicoffer keeping an eye on that Department of the West in northeast Arkansas. McCulloch going to protect Little Rock. Should probably build a fort at Little Rock. Unfortunately, we are abandoning a little bit of northeast or northwest Arkansas. Looking to build a ship. Should we do one second-rate steamer? We'll make that the flagship of our Savannah fleet. Gunboat tenders. We'll do a gunboat tender and a gunboat. We'll do 3 more gunboat tenders. All right, June 20th, we got a Union invasion of northeast Arkansas. Zollicoffer moving to western Tennessee to stop that, and McCulloch also headed towards Little Rock to prevent any further movement by the Union into Arkansas. Let's see when Magruder's troops will be finished. Just waiting on the 1 brigade for 17 days still. Well, Magruder's impatient. We'll see if we can't take Fort Monroe. Oh, they're going. It looks like they're going straight for Little Rock. Well, we're going to try to take Zollicoffer to combine with McCulloch. Bragg will keep an eye on this army at Evansville. I don't think they're formed up yet. Army of Indiana, 2,000 men right now. Well, yeah, but you're talking about isolating, trying to cut off this army in the in northeast Arkansas with all the swamps, and there's no good road network to get in behind. I mean, they're already suffering some supply issues. Although it looks like McCulloch's going to have to do it on his own. And try to deploy to defend. The enemy is not offering a battle if you don't attack. Order your unit to deploy to defend and hold the enemy at bay. But we would have to use depots. That would slow our advance down by stopping building depots. We're going to suffer the same attrition penalties. So McCulloch's going to try to delay Sanford and then give time for Zollicoffer to engage. They went after Porterfield in... Oh, no, that was just the fort being built. I thought that was a Union army in West Virginia. If you get the interior or frontline depots done early, it is no longer an issue. I'm not following. I would have had to move over here to build the depots. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but that takes time. So, I mean, I'm trying to follow what you're saying, but in my mind, it doesn't make a lot of sense because it would take time to build all those depots. As like you said, the armies aren't ready. They need a certain amount of readiness. At least McCulloch is holding. They're holding their ground. Glorious victory at Little Rock. So good job to McCulloch. Right, and that's what we were using that time. We made the decision to invade Kentucky. We were going to build depots and fortify Kentucky, but then a Union invasion into Arkansas. I'm not following. So while we're in Little Rock with McCulloch, we will build a fort there. All right, well, we'll agree to disagree on that then. Let's see if we can't follow the Department of the West. Do we want to follow them to Batesville? Actually, no. Now we do have an invasion of Kentucky. So McCulloch did his job. Zollicoffer will go back. Maybe they can go to Columbus and go up the Mississippi. No, have not gotten military 2 yet. You got to redo your armies. Yeah, that's you. Although military 2 is really important, it can be a pain to reorganize your armies, but it is necessary. You should be able to just create the army and then plop your already formed corps into them. All right, did Magruder engage in Fort Monroe? He is engaged. Let's auto-resolve this. They're already... They got 13 guns. We have 21 guns. It looks like it's seesawing back and forth. If you do military 3, you do not need militia 3. We'll build a depot while we're at Little Rock. While we're at it. King Cotton policy is selected. We'll do Militia Act 2. Yeah, they just jumped up to 115,000 men. So we're going to do Militia Act 2. You Indian policies help recruit. You get more recruits from the Indian territories. Military 3. Further reforms the CS Army, introduce a military railroad organization which manages troop movements to make them faster and cheaper. Maximum recruitment, civil order, and trade warfare subsidies level increased to $1 million annually. You get a nice boost in volunteers with Militia Act 2. Alright, so the fort is built across the Potomac. No siege is engaged. We have the fort at Harper's Ferry 2. Looks like Magruder might be losing this. We'll give him siege train. Although they've reduced the force to 78, but at high casualties. There we go. Ticking back up. All right, so the Department of the West has retreated back towards Cairo. Union does seem to be covering each department a little bit better than I've noticed in other games. What is the name of this fort? Fort Humphreys, and we have Fort Hood. We don't want Longstreet there. See, those two lieutenants are... I want field command. How about Derek? Let's get Longstreet out of there. James Martin. Albert Sidney Johnston, we don't want him as the garrison commander. Oh, wow. That's a big recovery. Bottom might be in, folks. Bottom might be in. Build another fort here across Fort Washington. So I wonder if we actually send a division from the Shenandoah out west. Let's do that. We're going to send the sharpshooters over. I think there was a total of 30,000 men around D.C. 16,000, and they're increasing up to about 32, 33,000. Yeah, we only have 13,000 volunteers right now. Got a garrison Fort Hood. I think we'll actually only do one infantry and one artillery. British intervention at 33%. So that's been ticking up slowly. Let's see how the Battle of Monroe is going. Looks like Magruder's trying to recover. Yeah, we can take Leesburg back. Is that from the Department of Pennsylvania? Glorious victory at Fort Monroe. So Magruder did the job. Union calls for volunteers, 2-year contracts. So yeah, Union going heavy in recruitment. All right, so Joe Johnson going to try to take Leesburg back. Take a look at front lines. Still controls southern Missouri slightly. And we've pushed the Union out of northeast Arkansas. Zollicoffer already has a perk. We'll do flying column. Mountain passes are doing fine, doing real good. All right, so that army, that Union Army is still retreating. Department of the West. How large is this Army of Indiana? 13,000. Why don't we can build a fort. Let's build a fort here at Columbus. Gunboat tender at Nashville. All right, where's the Nashville port? There we go. Why won't they? Oh, there we go. There we go. CSS Memphis. When we do this, can we get New Orleans Squadron up here? We can send Mississippi Squadron for now. Got to get some Grand Tactician in. Jonesing for some Grand Tactician. So I wonder if we actually have McCulloch go through Bateville after he's done fortifying Little Rock. And we'll try to secure northeast Arkansas. If the Union wants to putz around near Fort Smith and Fayetteville, then they can. We have a fort right there that can slow them down. Oh yeah, that's right. McCulloch. We should probably build a telegraph here. We gotta get in range of this telegraph station. There we go. We will build a brigade to help build some telegraph stations. Little Rock is not connected in that for some reason you get telegraphs all the way to Fort Smith. Oh, we can't even recruit. We need more volunteers. Oh, Sterling Price is at Baton Rouge. Oh, here we go. Well, let's do this. We can give these guys some engineer units, and we can change the or engineer commanders. How much for the Indian policies? That's probably your best bet. Well, that's the Indian policies are at the main policies at the start of the game. All right, so we have this army down in Louisiana. We're actually going to send... We'll have them build telegraph stations in the south here. But they're not ready to build. I gotta wait for them to form up. All right, so Zollicoffer has arrived in Columbus, building a fort and depot. Bragg's army will, once at full strength, will be at 10,000 men. All right, July 14th, 1861. We reclaim Leesburg. So we got the fort at Harper's Ferry. That should protect us for a little bit there. although it's not well garrisoned yet. Oh, we should be able to look at that. Union picked Indian Wars. So, continue the policy of relocating the indigenous tribes with force when necessary to allow American settlers to expand their territories. This requires U.S. regular army to increase in size to cover the vast frontier, and will keep the army fighting in the ensuing Indian Wars. Military experience in Union and CSA +5. Union morale +5. Industrialization. They took industrialization. Kansas, a free state. So really, actually, that's not a great Union policy. Yeah, it's coming up through. Yeah, because Montgomery is the capital. So we can connect. I thought Fort Smith was part of that connection. Is that because we lost Southern? Yeah, you know what? Used to connect through here, through Springfield. I wonder if that has something to do with... Oh, yeah, because I'm so used to having Kentucky. Usually the telegraphs go through... They'll go up through Nashville and then cross over through Columbus. But with the Union coming through southwest Missouri, they've cut off the telegraph into Arkansas. So we need to rebuild it up through here, through the Mississippi. The Union always seems to push heavy in the West. That's my experience in the games. Like far west, not Kentucky, not down the Mississippi. They push far into Missouri. The one in Tuscaloosa. Yeah, I was thinking... I got McCulloch busy building... Actually, maybe... I was either going to wait for Price to recruit his engineers, and then we will move to Lexington. Or we'll move towards Warren, build a telegraph here at Warren. You got one at Natchez. We are going to try to get European intervention, so that is part of the plan. This campaign is a defensive Confederate campaign, so we can't invade the North. We can invade the independent states, or independent states, the neutral states. And we can, of course, reconquer captured territory. Yeah, well, Tuscaloosa will link up with Grenada. I'm trying to link up Arkansas. But I understand what you're trying to say. It will be a more direct path. Let's see, Magruder took Fort Monroe, so we can garrison that, and then... We'll throw one. We'll throw one brigade in there. And then we'll do an artillery brigade too, or battalion. That way we can free up Magruder, or maybe part of his force. We'll actually march them back towards Richmond for now. Not a lot of movement by Union forces in Maryland, though. The Union Department of the West retreated back to Cairo. So Union staying kind of quiet, though, here in the summer of 61. They outnumber us 118 to 69 right now. Crittenden-Johnson resolution. Oh, disaster at Cedar Key. So maybe here's that amphibious invasion. Maybe. So maybe that's what we will try to get Magruder. We'll reassign Magruder. Maybe he should build a fort at Richmond first. He's building a fort at Richmond. We got our engineer brigades being recruited in Louisiana right now. Actually, one of them is ready. We're about to go up and down the coast, hitting the fleets. Should combine these two ships, or these two fleets. We'll throw the Savannah Squadron into the North Carolina Squadron. They are actually at Savannah right now. Yeah, South Carolina. Create a new corps here. We'll probably transfer some men to Cox Corps. Fort Sims. Do you think we should take the North Carolina squadron to Cedar Key? Maybe we'll go to Tampa for now. Why are they going that way? We got this Florida State Militia. Not enough supply to move a fleet that big. Gotcha. Army of South Carolina. Let's Cox Corps. Assign him. I do not want a horse artillery right there. Not yet. And then we can transfer a couple units from Magruder to head south. We'll make sure he has an engineer. Actually, let's transfer one of these engineer units from the western Louisiana. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap this up here in a minute. Like I said, I'm 99.9% sure I'm going to do another stream tomorrow, and then maybe again Friday. So we'll try to get 3 in this week, but I'll be pretty busy the rest of the week after tomorrow. You found a transfer hack? So they haven't invaded yet, Cedar Key. But it looks like they took the port. We have 10,000 men in Arkansas right now. Nashville has 10,000. Another 16,000 in Western Kentucky. Looks like the Union might be trying to strike at Zollicoffer. Let's see what they got there. 20,000 men versus our 16,000. That's assuming Department of the West doesn't intervene. I do not have time for one battle. So that we might end it right here. Just we'll start it up tomorrow. Hopefully there'll probably be a battle there. That'll be funny. The first Manassas will be out west. I can try to rush Bragg over there, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. We can try to order Zollicoffer to fall back to Jackson and then maybe call... then call Bragg over to reinforce. So that's what we'll probably do. Have Zollicoffer fall back to Jackson. And then call Bragg over to reinforce and maybe strike north. All right, I do appreciate everyone's time and thank you for viewing. We will pick this up again tomorrow. We will see you on the next one. Thank you.